Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Fabio. I'm not really gonna talk about much of this because I'm actually on my way out the door and I just deleted the previous recording that I made because I thought it was too long. I came home from Switzerland early because I had an argument with my dad that resulted in him suggesting that I take an earlier flight home. It's just total bullshit. My dad's a really touchy guy, and I guess he had some kind of expectations for me that I didn't meet whenever I got there. Basically, he came to me and he asked me if I think it's okay to be alone all of the time because apparently to his standards, I didn't spend enough time with family, even though he was taking me to go see relatives and having dinner with these people. But apparently him literally taking me to see my family wasn't enough. I guess I'm just still separated somehow because I don't know. He said that I didn't talk enough at the table. They fucking speak Swiss German, okay? And that whenever somebody asked me a question about myself, all I really said was yes or no. Well, am I supposed to fucking write them an essay? I'm sorry. I had a personal problem with even being asked questions while I was there because it was the very first time I had that problem where I felt attacked by normal questions. Because I would give them a truthful answer and then everybody would just seem disappointed in me. This one specific occasion happened 5 separate times on five different people. 5 different people did the exact same thing to me. They asked me when I'm finishing college, and I said in a couple years, and absolutely fucking all of them, 5 out of 5, without even having talked to each other about it, they all said, oh, well, a couple, how many is a couple? 2, 3, 4, 5, give me a number. I don't know, okay? I don't know when I'm gonna graduate. I'm a part-time student. I only take half of the amount of classes I'm supposed to because I work 2 jobs. And I can't give you a specific answer because I don't know how many credits I have right now, so I don't know when I'm gonna graduate, so get off my back. Do you know how easy it is to just say a couple years other than explaining that entire spiel? Because on one occasion, I had to explain this to one of my relatives who has a master's degree, and she was like, oh, that's unacceptable. You have to know how many credits you have. And I'm going to call you whenever you get back to the States and I'm going to help you figure out blah, 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 blah. And then she asked me if I was going to get my master's after my bachelor's, and I was like, no, I don't want to be in school for that long. And she got offended, holy fuck, I didn't, my bad. Then she started insisting that I consider to get my master's because it'd be better. Yeah, no shit, it'd be better. Better be in $500,000 in debt with an extra 4 years of school on my life that could have been spent doing something I actually like. And then, at some point, my godfather had a 10-minute stern talking to about me, how my diet is poor because I don't eat salads and vegetables. And, I couldn't even look him in the eye for the majority of that because I didn't even get a word in. For just 10 straight minutes, he just, rambled about how it's not good to have a bad diet. Thank you. Yes, you're correct. He hit the nail on the head about 547 times, and I just couldn't, even when I agreed, and I was like, yeah, you're right, I get it, I get it, I get it. That's American for stop. He was just still, and it got on my nerves, actually. That's a dick part on my move. That's a dick move on my part. This is gonna sound really cheesy, but I just didn't feel like I could even be myself around my European family because, they just seemed so disappointed in whatever I had to say in the first place. It's I finally get here after being missing for 2 years and they want to hear all about me and nothing's changed, and they're just oh, cool, happy to have you. And it's just all simple questions, and it's what do you want to do for a living? When are you gonna finish college? Do you have a girlfriend? What do you like to eat? And it's just I can't be truthful. I don't have a girlfriend, I have a shitty diet, I don't know when I'm gonna finish college, and it's really hard to tell your family that your dream job is to just be the best possible husband and father you can to your future family, because that is something I can't go to college for, and it's something that doesn't pay the bills, even though I wish it really did, because that's honestly how I feel. I've never really had a career path. I've just always wanted to do that. Cheese, I know, it's cheesy. I'm sorry, we're getting lactose intolerant up in here, I know. But yeah, it was really hard for me. The past two occasions I went to Switzerland, my dad made me cry somehow just from being a dick. It was at the ages of 16 and 19, and I told myself going on this trip, I'm not gonna let him make me cry this time. I'm gonna be a big boy. There's no tears in Switzerland this time around. And I totally fucking failed that completely. My dad most definitely made me cry this time around. It was upsetting. It was like a core family member you haven't seen in 2 years just tells you to go home early. Like, he basically closed off the welcoming into his home from me. And it's like, oh, well, I'm not wanted here right now. And I don't leave for another 4 days, so what do I do? Like, it was upsetting. But yeah, he was also upset that I was like always on my phone or on my computer, and apparently it's like offensive to everyone at the table if you leave even though you're not doing anything. That's a little too broad of a description, but to basically sum things up, it's very common in European households to like sit around the table for a couple hours after you finish dinner just to talk and conversate. And whenever they weren't talking about anything that piqued my interest or just straight up speaking Swiss German, I just like, you know, left to go be on my computer because I could be productive there, like editing a video or watching something that actually interests me. Dick move, I know, dick move, sorry. But yeah, my dad came to me and he's like, listen, if all you're gonna do is be on your technology, then why don't you just go home where you have a better connection than you do here? And I was like, bet. So I just straight up ran away from home. We had that argument that night, and then at like 3 in the morning, I packed my bag, threw it out the window, walked into town, and I was basically homeless for the day. My predicament is that this conversation happened the night before New Year's Eve, so on the 30th of December, and I really didn't want to stay with my dad anymore after that conversation, but I also really wanted to stay in Switzerland for the New Year's celebration because in the city of Zurich, they do this beautiful fireworks display over the lake of Zurich, and it's just, you know, gorgeous, and I'd never seen it before and I wanted to, and so, you know, I basically bummed around town with all of my bags from about 5 a.m. to midnight because it took me from like 3 a.m. to 5 just to walk into the city. There's no use explaining anything past this point because it's behind us now and it honestly doesn't even matter to me, so we're just gonna let bygones be we're gonna let bygones be bygones. Just, what's better than this? Just guys being dudes.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
But honestly, I was only like phased in the moment, and now I'm just completely over it because, you know, my mom who divorced him has been warning me about shit like that for years, and after seeing it firsthand, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I see why he's across the pond, Mom. But really though, everything is just cool with me now, and I'm not worried about it, and I actually vlogged like my entire experience. So without further ado, here's that.
system just to fly. A lonely boy and two lonely girls.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my little runaway vlog. I've never really done anything like that before, and I don't exactly know how this is going to be received online because it's just like me being like a stubborn little kid, basically. Like I can't, like, I don't want to conform to your family needs. I'm going to run away. Is how I imagine some people are going to view me as, but I'm sure some of you understand as well, so it can go either way. I'm open to interpretation, it's fine. Yeah, but between that whole day, like, so much other shit happened. Like, after the fireworks celebration, I ran into my cousin. Out of all the tens of thousands of people in Switzerland, I run into my cousin in the bathroom of the train station, and he was like, "Whoa, Fabio, holy shit, like, I knew you were in town, but it's great to see you. I can't believe we ran." I had my bag with me and everything, and he asked me what I was doing, and I lied, and I just felt so bad about it, because I just didn't want to cause any trouble. I didn't want to tell him, had a fight with my dad. I ran away from his place. I'm about to take a flight home early, but I don't know if I could even get on a plane because, you know, it's not my initial departure date. And I told him all about it later after I finally got on a plane. I actually reached out to him at the airport because I was stuck, because it looked like at the time that I really wasn't going to be able to leave Switzerland to the 4th, and I was not in any way going back to my dad's place. And he's like, "Oh dude, like, if you would have told me, you could have came back to my place and I would have like given you money and fed you and kept you housed and taken you to the airport as soon as it's actually time for you to go. You just like gotta tell me the truth on these things." And I'm like, fuck, I know I should have. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to lie to you, but I was just like nervous and didn't want to cause any trouble. That's the type of person I am. I just want to avoid conflict at all costs. And I paid out of pocket $375 to go home early from like one of the most beautiful countries in the world, just because my dad is a dick. If I would have just told my cousin, I don't know how I even got away with that. I had a 50-pound bag on me. I was carrying around a duffel to a New Year's party, like, in the city. Sorry for the quick cut if the camera angle looks slightly different. I had to like make storage on my phone because I just finished this entire video only to realize that my phone was full on storage. So yeah, as I was saying, I should have just like told my cousin the truth. He said he would have like put me up until my actual departure date, and I probably would have had a better time with him than my dad if I stayed. And it's just like, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But aside from that, when I was waiting for my train, this like Swiss Kurdish guy got really friendly with me. It started off with just making conversation, you know, just as Europeans do. Whenever you sit down next to a stranger, you say hi. That turned into like him like patting me on the back and like acting like my dad and carrying my bags around for me whenever I had to go somewhere, and like really creepy stuff. He like kept joking about murdering me because I was so tired. He was talking about like sending me to paradise so I can rest or something like that. Said that like multiple times. I don't know what it is with Europeans and repeating themselves, but they fucking do it a lot, and it was scary that that's what he was repeating. Oh yeah, but speaking of which, on that note, that's just like another reason why I couldn't even conversate with my relatives, because it was nothing but repetitory stuff. Even when they like asked me a question, they would ask it again later like they forgot, and it's almost like when they talk, they just like do it just for the sake of the room not being silent, and they don't even listen whenever, you know, there is conversation, because then they're ending up asking me the same thing over and over again. Like, my dad asked me a question at the dinner table that he asked me like 2 nights ago before, like the exact same thing, and he asked it as if he'd never heard the answer before, like both times. And I'm like, were you listening the first time? Why are we gonna make conversation if you're not gonna remember or listen? Like, and then you're gonna yell at me for not making conversation with my relatives. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But back to the potential rape story. Oh my god. So I get to my platform because my train is ready for departure, and the guy all of a sudden starts insisting that I come with him to take a later one because it would be easier somehow. And I'm like, oh no, little red flag going up. That does not sound like my cup of tea. So I managed to dip and like get on the train without him noticing me, leave, and then the doors close, and then I'm on the train, and I'm like, whew, we really escaped that one. I ended up like making another friend on the train, and he was this really awesome like student from Kenya, and we talked and had good conversation. I ended up adding him on Facebook. He's awesome. And him and I become travel buddies because we're like both unsure on how to get to the airport after we get off the train, because the train requires us to go to a bus stop that's away from the train platform, and we had to like find our way together and then get to the airport together. So it was nice. I made a friend. It was really cool. But we get to the airport, and I had already told him about creepy Swiss curd before this. We get to the airport and we're sitting at a table resting because we're both tired as shit. Me from walking around the city for over 24 hours, basically, and him just, you know, traveling. The dude shows up at the airport looking for me, and he finds me. There's no protecting my butthole now. We're going down in an earlier round, and sugar, we're going down swinging.
Going down in an earlier round, and sugar, we're going down swinging.
And I will never ever know for sure if he was like trying to abduct me, or if he was just a genuinely helpful, concerned European guy. But he like found me at the airport again, and he made sure that I could get flight arrangements okay. And at the time when it seemed as if I couldn't, he just like reluctantly went home, and we bid our farewells, and I told him, you know, thankful for being more helpful than my dad was on this trip, and blah 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 blah. And he left me alone. That's the important thing. I don't think Europeans understand that they can be too helpful or too pushy at times. Like, I went to somebody's birthday while I was on this trip, and I brought my instant camera because I wanted to take pictures of like the birthday girl and the birthday girl's like relatives and sisters and all boyfriend, all of them together and stuff like that. And this girl who saw that I had the camera, like, she spoke enough English to like drag me around to take pictures of all these people that I didn't want to waste film on. And I couldn't say no, because then I'm the dick at the party who doesn't want to take people's pictures if I don't want to waste the film. Like, it was a 2-pack of 10 shots for $30 at Urban Outfitters. I wasted 16 at that party. And that's just because like everybody's like party environment, like, oh no, yeah, come on, like take the photo, oh my god, yeah. I don't know you people. She didn't even want me to give them the Polaroid. Like, I give those things as gifts. Like, though, like it's a photo of you. What do I need it for? She's like, no, keep them all. We want to see before and afters of everybody when they're sober and drunk. I'm like, I don't have enough film to take pictures of everybody at this party before and after they're trashed. Oh, geez, sorry. That's what I get for recording when I'm not in airplane mode. A friend of mine just called and interrupted the video. But yeah, you get the whole gist of what I was talking about with Europeans potentially being too pushy sometimes. Is that racist? I don't know. I'm European too, so you can't really pin me on anything. I can say what I want about my own people. But yeah, I was high-key debating whether or not I could actually survive in Switzerland with like $40 in my wallet cash, and, you know, just like at the airport or whatever. We're talking about on the 1st. We're like the morning of January 1st, lasting until January 4th. I contemplated it hard, and then I came to the conclusion that I actually might die if I really try to survive in Switzerland without my dad's hospitality. And so I called in the cavalry, aka my mom, and she was like, boy, if you don't get on a flight right now, I don't care how much it costs, you're gonna be dead on arrival whenever you get here. So $375 of my own money later, I am home early. And that just really sucks, because one thing that really hit home with my dad's argument with me is that he accused me of only being there to just like collect money from my relatives just because it's Christmas. And boy, I wish that were the case now, because I just fucking paid out of pocket to go home from a beautiful country early. So I like heard him say it in English like through the door to his wife, like, I'm only here just because it's been a while and I should probably come back again. Like, fuck you, Dad. Wanted to see you, but alright. That's cool too. I started this video saying like I'm only gonna touch on a little bit of this, and it's been like almost an hour, I'm pretty sure, with all of the video interruptions. So I'm just gonna go. And if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to give it a thumbs up and comment whatever you thought about this predicament below. And subscribe and keep up with what I'm doing for this 2018 because hopefully it'll be a good year. I'm hoping it will be. I've got this little jar right here, and as soon as it's not full of delicious salty pretzel rods, I'm going to put a little slit into the lid, and I'm going to use this to write down notes of like every positive thing to happen to me in 2018. Just stick it in here, and at year's end we'll pop it off and read them all. So make sure you subscribe to keep up with all whatever wacky antics I have prepared for this channel because it's one of my goals to really grow this channel. We've only just hit 100 subscribers as of like a few days ago, and I'm just like, wow. I'd just like to thank the Academy for believing in me. But yeah, without further ado, I'm doing that foreign thing where I keep bringing up new things to talk about whenever I'm trying to say bye. So I'll catch you guys later. Love you. Bye.